Hey everybody, how's it going? I am Sethum and welcome back to another video. Today folks, I am going to be doing the Artifact of the Void. So for this I'm going to be doing the cave solo with this Giga. Now this Giga has two mutations on it. One would be in damage and the other one of course would be in HP. They don't really get that much of a difference. However, this is a bred Giga, and so if you're going to use a Giga, I do recommend that you do breed a Giga and of course imprint on it, as it does make a big difference. So if you guys enjoy this video, please do not forget to support me on the channel by hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new and haven't already for more similar content from myself, and if you have just subscribed, don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos. And why not check out some of my other videos here on this channel, who knows, you might just enjoy them. Also, for those interested, you can always find me on the Sethtopia Discord. Links to this, of course, you can find down below in the video's description as well as in a pinned comment. So, as I was saying, this cave is, of course, underneath the snow biome. It is on the outside. I'm going to be doing this with a Giga. There is plenty of room to fit a Giga. Now, this is apparently one of the more harder caves simply because the creatures inside it, as you will see as we make our way through it, they are quite of a high level. Some creatures will ignore us, like the dire wolves. I'm also using this as a method for leveling up my Giga. It does have several levels on it, but it is primarily still at the beginning. As you can see, it's just gained a ton of levels from killing all those creatures. Everything I do level up on the Giga will go into damage, as it doesn't really get much of a bonus from any other stats. So the parents of this Giga, for those that did not watch my playthrough and are just watching this for the how to do bit, were both 140 Gigas. Bred them together until I got the base parents. Then obviously at that point there was no imprinting done whatsoever. Then after I got the base parents, I bred those two together until I got mutations. Now this so happens to have two mutations on it. One of the mutations, as I said at the beginning of the video, is of course in damage, and the other one is in HP. I think it gets around 80 HP points per mutation, and 10 points per damage stat mutation. So overall not that big of a difference, but as you can see, it is doing a tremendous amount of damage, and the more points I pump into damage, the more damage of course it will do. As you can see, I do have a normal saddle on it, so there's nothing special about this Giga apart from the two mutations, which aren't that big a deal. The other big thing that you have to bear in mind is obviously Gigas have bad stamina, and so they'll run out of stamina fairly quickly. But I mean, this cave for a Giga is absolutely nothing. It's a walk in the park, and as you'll see throughout the video, this is going to be fairly easy. The Giga will fare quite well with it, and I'm also going to use this to level up my Giga. So this is definitely a good way to level up any strong dinos such as Gigas, maybe Rexes, and at the end of it you get a nice shiny artifact. Do bear in mind of course that when you do come in here, we've got the customary lag for the caves, which is a bit annoying. Do bear in mind that when you do come in here, the creatures, as you can see, are of a very high level, therefore they will have a decent amount of health, so you will need to come in prepared. The other caves are not so difficult to do. The creatures are of a lower level. It's just this one that can be difficult, or was difficult until using a Giga. Now I do realize that most people will not have a Giga, so what I would probably suggest in that case would be some Rexes. And I do say some Rexes. Obviously it helps if you do have mutations on them. Be prepared, as this can be quite dangerous. Obviously, as you will see in a bit once I gamma up, some creatures like the dire wolves will naturally ignore the Giga, Some of the Perlovias will ignore the Gigas whilst others will jump, but because I'm so high, they will not dismount me. The other advantage of the Rex is or the Giga as well, even if they do dismount you, they don't take you off the creature, they just dismount you, and that's it, really. So you're never in any real danger. Just make sure that the creature you are riding has got the passive ability or behavior turned on, because you don't want it running with you whilst it is dismounted. You will clip onto part of the cave and it will probably knock you off at some point and obviously put you in danger. Now, as you saw there, those Perlovias had no issues with me whatsoever. And as we make our way through, you'll see that the dire bears and the yetis are the first to come and try and get a piece of me. If I get too close to the Perlovias, they will attack me. If I walk over a Perlovia mount, once they are dug underground, they will once again attack me. But even if I do attack the other creatures, they seem to ignore the Giga. So that is the big advantage of having a Giga. As you can see, there is plenty of space in the cave for a Giga, for even more than one Giga, to be fairly honest. And the Giga is not all that difficult to get, to be fairly honest. I mean, yes, there are some challenges to it, but once you've got yourself a pair of Gigas, you can obtain some pretty powerful Gigas. Obviously, imprinting does go a long way, and I truly recommend it on the Gigas, as it does make a great deal of significance with regards to the stats. The stats resulted from imprinting and breeding on my server are identical to those of the official servers, so what you saw on my Giga is totally achievable on official servers without a hint of a doubt there. And as I said before, and I'll repeat it again, the parents for this particular Giga that you are watching me do this cave on were both level 140, so they weren't even max level. You can probably go even to 130. It's still going to be a powerful creature. Now, as you've just seen there, I did not take that much damage on the Giga. There's no point in trying to put points into HP. The scale of the point that you put in HP is not that great. I think it's more a waste of points. So just as a tip for those who have not had Gigas, who have not used Gigas, Gigas do spawn on the Extinction servers. They might not be very easy to tame, as they do spawn in the wastelands, and obviously that means you'll have to deal with the heat. You will also have to deal with the corrupted creatures, which can be quite annoying, and sometimes you can find yourself surrounded by quite a few, so do bear that in mind. The Gigas, primarily from what I've seen so far, tend to spawn around the vicinity of the snow biome. So just go on the outside of the snow globe part of the biome, and you should be able at the base of the snow biome to, on occasions, see a Giga. They don't spawn as frequent as they do on other maps. I'm not sure if there are any other spawn points. If you guys do know any other spawn points for Gigas, put it down in a comment down below, as I'm sure it will help those that want to do this using this method. If you're gonna go for Rexes, I would recommend maybe some decent saddles, and I'd probably say 5 Rexes should suffice. Obviously that means you'll have to control the Rexes, and as you just saw there, the wolves were no trouble whatsoever. Now I should be fairly close-ish to the artifact. One advantage of the Giga, as you can see, the dire bears are behind me. Now this on a Rex would be troublesome, but the Giga does have a decent AoE, so if you can see them coming from the front, all you need to do is bite and reverse. You stand a greater chance of reducing the damage that your Giga takes from the creatures that can be found in this cave, whilst obviously doing damage as they are coming towards you. I'm going to try and heal up the Giga. This is some meat that I have on the Giga from the journey I took to get to this cave. Okay, we're nearly there. Now, what I was going to say about the other caves, that could probably be done with a decent Rex or two. The Giga is definitely overpowered for those caves, but you can do it. You can fit a Giga, and I will show that in other future videos that I have planned for this channel. That, of course, includes the cave in the forest biome, which does have some narrow corridors, but nonetheless a Giga will fit through. But that, of course, will be shown in a separate video. So I'm getting closer to it. Obviously, if I see a Yeti or a bear that hasn't yet spotted me, I'm going to go and pick on it before it comes to me, just so that way I can reduce the damage. As you saw there, the Giga does also do a bit of a knockback on the creature. I'm going to quickly enable victim collection and harvesting, just so I can get some meat on the Giga, as I don't have any meat at the moment, and that is, of course, useful for healing. So I'll probably kill a creature or two that way. And by dismounting, as you saw there, I did, of course, activate a Perlovia, which has kind of done itself some good and thrown itself off a cliff. So I'll kill another 2-3 creatures, and then I will stop the harvesting and gathering on the Giga, as otherwise I will just be overloaded with loads of things that I do not need. I also do bear in mind that creatures, as usual with all caves, tend to spawn inside the cave walls, as you just saw there with the dire bears. Also, as you can see, by biting regularly, it does a small knockback, which does help me avoid taking damage on the Giga. Okay, I think I've got enough meat here. I'm going to try and get rid of the prime meat because that will spoil and it will weigh a lot. Alright, let's get rid of all the other stuff that's heavy that we do not need. Whoops, something in a second. Oh, there we go, there's a Yeti. I'm going to quickly walk away because I'm going to dismount the Giga to disable harvesting and gathering on it. We don't need any more than what I currently have. Even that is a bit too much, but there were a pack of dire wolves, and we don't really want to aggro those. Not that I couldn't deal with them, obviously, but I'm just obviously trying to keep things simple. The amount of meat that we now have should suffice for this and all the other caves that I will do. Obviously, those will be in separate videos, so if you want to see them, don't forget to subscribe. Or at least come back on the next day and watch the video if that's what you want to do. Alright. Definitely close to the artifact. I remember this path. It's been a while since I've done it. Now, to my knowledge, unless I am wrong, on official servers, you are not allowed flyers in here, so you will want to use a land-based creature. As you can see, up to now, the Giga's not been in any real threat whatsoever, or there hasn't been any real danger of me losing my Giga or anything of the sort, despite the levels of the creatures in this cave here. This is definitely also a good place to come to level up powerful dinos. like say Tyrannuses or anything you want to use as a battle dino or to face off bosses, and that's primarily due to the levels of this creature. So as you can see, there's a lake in front of me. The artifact should be there on the right hand side. Also, before you do dismount your creature to go and pick up the artifact, what I would suggest is you kill everything and anything that is in the water. You will have water-based creatures that will aggro on you. There are sometimes creatures such as dire bears and yetis floating about, so you want to get rid of those before you go and pick up the artifact. Also, I think this could also be achievable with a normal tame Giga. It's not that bad, this cave, once you have a Giga. You might need to be a bit more careful with it, though, due to the fact that it will do less damage. The advantage of breeding a Giga and imprinting on it is that the imprinting bonus is quite significant in the damage department. And with that occasion, I'd like to thank everybody who suggested breeding Gigas and imprinting on them on my channel, because that was quite a useful piece of information which I'm now able to share with you. So obviously, let's have a close look at the artifact. I should be in the clear right now, so there shouldn't be anything that would aggro on me. So this is the artifact container. That does look like the artifact itself. To access it, just walk up to it, press the prompt on the screen. So for PC it would be E to access the inventory. Take it out of the artifact container and put it into your inventory, and there you have it. One artifact easily done. So I'll go and pick up the artifact, and that's that. From this point on, make your way out. It should be fairly clear. Do bear in mind, and I will show this as a part of this video, some creatures will have respawn. They do tend to somehow respawn rather quick. On the way in, certain Perlovia mounds were not activated, and they seem to activate only on the way out. I'm not quite sure how that works out, if that is a bug or a glitch, but you will see that happen. Also, you'll notice that some Perlovia mounds remain unactivated. Also, on the way out, I am going to go through the trouble of killing everything, as I have already shown you how to get to the artifact, how easy it is to get there with a Giga. So on the way out, as I want to level up my Giga as much as possible, I will kill individual creatures and other groups of creatures. As you saw there, a dire bear and a yeti had spawned in. Okay, I'll go and get these guys. For some odd reason, that yeti did not aggro on me, which is quite interesting. I'm not quite sure how the aggro mechanics work on this cave. They seem to be a bit weird, or maybe they didn't consider the Giga as a creature for this cave. And obviously by they I'm referring to the game developers. As you just saw there, Perlovia activated. So let's kind of sort this out. There we go. So the path to the artifact for this cave, to me at least, and it doesn't mean necessarily that it's true, but to me it feels somewhat longer than the other ones. It's probably because it's a bit more zigzaggy as well compared to the other caves, which tend to be a bit more straightforward, I find. It's also longer because of the level of the creature, so whereas a single gigabyte would demolish and make the packs of creatures in other caves just simply melt away underneath the Giga, here it takes a couple of bites to actually get rid of the Gigas. Do bear in mind the dire bears and yetis are pretty tanky, so are the dire wolves. Perlovias can be tanky as well, and as you've seen up to now, they're all well above 150, some even close to level 300, so they will be fairly tanky. You could probably also do this cave if you have defeated the bosses, and by bosses I mean the 3 titans, so that would be the Ice Titan, the Forest Titan, and the Desert Titan. That would allow you access to the tech replicator and tech armor, and once you have that, you can just fly your way through with some element, pick it up, obviously kite the creatures out of the lake off to the cliff. As you saw there was a cliff, so I would probably kite them off of that cliff, and then once that area's clear, I would just pick up the artifact and fly my way out. But this is for those that don't have that, who have not yet unlocked the tech gear via defeating the titans. And obviously I would class the challenge of taming a Giga as a mid-game sort of deal. It's not really end game anymore. It does take a lot of preparation. You do need quite a few narcotics and tranks and dart or whatever you're going to be using to knock it out. You do need a good flyer and a good place to build a trap to trap it. But once you have it, you know, these are the advantages. As you can see, I'm slightly stuck on that dire bear. Okay, I'm gonna make a quick pit stop here. There was a dire bear. There we go. Okay, we got the Yeti. There's a dire bear. Brilliant. So I'm gonna make a quick pit stop here. I'm gonna drink some water, as I have lost a bit of water, so I don't really want to go into the other caves with little to no water. So I'll just take this advantage now. Obviously that was a bit of a risk, but I did look around and notice that there wasn't anything dangerous within my immediate vicinity. Even if I were... There you go, that you just saw a Perlovia activate. Do not know where that activated from. And I didn't see a mound in front of me either. So no clue where that Perlovia was. But it did not activate on the way in, and I'm guessing that would have probably been underneath the floor of the cave. Also, another thing that I have noticed from several of the tests that I've run with this cave with regards to using the Giga, do bear in mind these rocks on the sides. For some odd reason, on occasions, the Giga can pretty much snag onto them. If you find yourself in that position, my recommendation is just back out and go around it. Obviously, as you can see, there's plenty of space to move around, so easy to avoid the edges. There we go, another Perlovia just activated, and it didn't activate on the way in. Okay, I am not too far from the exit at this point. I'm quite close. And the reason I mentioned that is because I wanted to point out the HP of the Giga, which for those that don't know is in the upper right corner of my screen next to the 2 fists, that cross symbol. As you can see, it's not even lost half of its health. So the Giga has dealt quite well. This leads me to believe, as I've not actually done this without a Giga that has not been bred, I do actually believe that it is doable with a normal Giga. Do bear in mind that you may find yourself in a situation where you'll have to take a break and feed your Giga the food that it has collected or harvested. My Giga is doing okay. It's not the case. It's not in any threat of dying. As you can see, it does heal pretty quick. You can speed it up by obviously feeding it raw meat. So now I should be coming up on the exit of the cave. I'm expecting to see the customary lag to indicate that we are on our way out and we are transitioning from the cave to the outside world. There we go. That is what I was on about before. So the exit is only a couple of seconds away. Notice that by backing up and continuing to chomp at the creatures in front, I don't often take that much damage. It's when they catch me from behind, but even so, this creature has an amazing range on its bite, so it can reach the creatures nibbling at your ankles. There we go, we can already see the light of the exits. Just gonna wait for some stamina to regen. Okay, I thought I was gonna get away without aggroing these guys, but apparently not. Okay, sorted out the lighting issue, and that is it. This is how you do the cave solo, and as you've seen, obviously it's not a speed run, but it is ridiculously easy. Obtaining a Giga is not that difficult, and breeding them and some imprints on it will do wonders for the Giga. That is it for this particular video, folks. I do hope that you have enjoyed it and found it useful. If you have, please do not forget to support me on the channel by hitting that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. And if you have just subscribed, don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos. And why not check out some of my other videos here on this channel? Who knows, you might just enjoy them. Until next time, stay safe, folks.